to demonstrate that the filth of the world meant nothing, but he has come to cleanse the filth of the world. We looked at some of the women, Mary and Martha in specific, and how they approached ministry, if you will. And really the subject and the title of last week's message was being at the feet of Jesus. And being at His feet. Because that's a very crucial place to be. You know, we want to hear His voice. We want to look at Him. We want to see Him face to face. But if we're at the feet of Jesus, it's a position of humility. It's a position saying that I am positioned here at your feet. That I'm not an equal with you. I am submitted to you. And it's a position that we must take on as the believers of God, because if we're going to get somewhere, we're going to get there at Jesus' feet. Because if we stay at His feet, we can go where He goes. You don't have to look at Him face to face. You don't have to even necessarily hear what He's saying. But the very first step is to be positioned at His feet. Because at His feet, you can go where He's at. You can be sure that you're where He is. And if we step outside and away from where Jesus is, we're going to get ourselves in a whole lot of trouble. We're going to be doing things that we don't mean to do. And it's much easier to submit to the will of God than to seek forgiveness for stepping outside of the will of God. In looking into the depth of the Gospel of John, I want to bring some things to your attention. I want to bring to your attention that there is no parables listed in the book of John. I want you to understand that because the author had to have some sort of a relationship and chose what he would record, what he would write, and what would be a part of the Gospel of John. Now, all these authors, they were inspired by the Holy Spirit, and that's how we have the Bible. It's all God-breathed and useful for teaching, instruction, and rebuke. And in the book of John, we find that it's the last book of the Gospels, written maybe a little bit later. Maybe it was because he was not wanting to be as redundant. But if you would do a synoptic study of the Gospels, you'll find that there's only one miracle recorded in the book of John. And we'll get to that in a little bit, that is recorded in the other three Gospels. You'll find that there is some things in the book of John that's not really found anywhere else. Many times people will tell a new convert, someone that is just now entering into the church, to begin in the book of John. It's full of theology and it's full of Jesus, and that's why it's so important. There's so much to be grasped from it, but